What's up everybody, this is Trevor from Team RunWise. If you're watching this video, it's probably because either Will or I or Team RunWise sent you a strength training plan. If you are part of the runner split, it's a 3-day plan or 2 to 3 day plan where the workouts are about 30 to 45 minutes each. This is going to be a video just walking through some of the workouts on the day 1 or session 1 of the 3-day runner split. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the exercises that we may have prescribed some of y'all. I'm going to show you some of some general technique shifts and some progressions you can implement yourself, and just some quick corrections just to make sure that you're cueing properly and doing the movement correctly. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so one of the first moves we're doing in the sort of warm-up part of this workout is a side plank with the hip lift, either hip drop or hip abduction. Either one's totally fine for this case. So with this move, you want your bottom arm right underneath you, lift your hips up so that your body is aligned. You want your toes facing forward, hips in neutral. And so if you can think of like a pole going through your head all the way down to your feet, you're pretty straight. You should feel that bottom oblique really firing here. And all you want to do is use that right glute, or in my case, the right glute, that top glute, to lift your leg straight up. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds and then lower back down. If you're doing the hip drop, all you do is drop your hip down to the ground, touch, and pop back up. So hip drop, pop back up, or if you're doing the leg lift portion, you lift the leg, hold for 2 seconds, slowly come back down. Okay, for the next part of this workout routine, just to kind of get the heart rate up, blood flowing, get the nervous system driving and Achilles warmed up. You can either get a jump rope and do some jump rope, or just do some what I call pogo hops. So you notice my my heels never touch the ground, just quick hops. You can do some higher hops or really quick, low to the ground kind of hops. A couple sets of 20 seconds each. You can alternate or kind of go back and forth. Anything to get your feet, your legs, your ankles, your knees warmed up, get your heart rate up to continue through the workout. The next exercise is either a split squat jump, where I either do this, you can do this in standing. So if you just have your legs apart, it's a split squat. So split squat and jump. I like to alternate. And so kind of like it's not quite a plyometric. I guess there is some plyometric component, but really this is still part of the warm-up phase. So it's just quick hops. If you want, on maybe the second or third set, you can go a little bit deeper, so less plyometric, more of a actual split squat. So again, I'm just alternating legs, doing a couple reps each side. An alternative to that is you get a bench or a bag of mulch behind you, and you can just focus on one leg at a time. So this one, a little bit more challenging, I say, but you're putting more of the load on just the front leg. And so you're driving the leg up, and then you would just switch legs. Same thing here. All right, now we have either a Smith machine or barbell calf raise. The benefit of this is you can load this up really heavy because you're doing little reps. Again, this is something you're doing both legs at the same time, you can go really heavy on. So whether if you have access to a Smith machine or barbell, use that. If not, just go heavy dumbbells. I'll show you in a second, but I do have a plate underneath me to give me a little bit of an incline. All you're doing here, as you would expect from a calf raise, is just loading the bar up on your back. You're standing right underneath the barbell the barbell. And you're literally just lifting up on both legs and coming down slowly. Lifting up, coming down slowly. Okay, now looking at this view with the plate under my toes, or really under the mid and forefoot of my foot. When I have the weight up, it gives me a little bit of a drop. I could definitely go higher on this incline. The benefits of doing an incline is that extra stretch at the bottom, especially if you go slow. So here would be a good rep. If I go up on my toes, I can hold for 2-3 seconds. You're really gonna feel your calves kind of cramping at the top, and then go really slow on the way down into a deep stretch. So I don't get a very deep stretch here, but just a bumper plate. If you have a ledge that can just kind of raise the height of your forefoot just to give you a deeper stretch, it's really good for sort of adding more stimulus to the Achilles. So if you really want a strong Achilles, you gotta do heavy, slow eccentrics into that deep stretch. So a heavy barbell or Smith machine or even dumbbell calf raise, if you can get up on a ledge, even just doing 4 or 5 reps of those, a couple sets, squeezing at the top, really getting that neuromuscular drive into the calf, and then doing a slow eccentric all the way down, you're really going to stimulate the adaptation to have a really strong Achilles. Okay, now we have Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats, really challenging. They're an incredible single leg exercise. They can be pretty hard to get into. So go ahead and get your dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever you're using, pretty close to you. A couple ways you can get into it. So you can either have the dumbbell down underneath where you're gonna pick it up from. Back foot is just resting on the bench, so you really don't want to be putting too much pressure on the bench here. Front leg is doing all the work, or at least most of the work. So from here, you can pick the weight up and then go into your reps, sets, or you can just stand, I don't know, 2-3 feet out from the bench. Find what distance apart from the bench feels good to you. Remember, resting the foot there, all the weight and tension is going on the front leg. You can hold 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, mix it up, find whatever's comfortable for you. Eventually, you'll probably need to hold dumbbells in both hands as you get stronger. Knee going straight over the toes, that's totally fine. You get more knee flexion, more hip flexion that way. Again, that back leg is just resting. So what I like to do as far as pacing, go into a nice controlled deep stretch, boom, pop up. Nice controlled to the bottom, boom, pop up. And then switch legs. All right, so paired with the Bulgarian split squats are either a box jump or you can just do a standing sort of squat jump. The purpose of this is sort of, it's called contrast programming. And so essentially you're doing a heavy exercise, like a heavy Bulgarian split squat, and then you sort of superset it in a sense, or compound set it with a plyometric. And so what we're doing here is we're doing a heavy Bulgarian split squat and a sort of quick and fast box jump or squat jump. So as soon as you're finished with your first set of your Bulgarian split squat, you'll take maybe a minute rest, just enough to where you feel recovered, you feel good. Then you'll go straight into the box jump. So as it's stated, a box jump is literally just, you just jump up on a box or a bench. To make this more explosive and plyometric, you can either jump onto the box, go over the box, and then jump back onto the box. You can do quick, so on the box and off like that, where you sort of fall back off and immediately hop back on the box, so you get that plyometric at the bottom. Or if you're doing squat jumps, it's literally just squatting down, jumping. And to keep it plyometric, remember, you want to be doing these pretty intensely. So you want to be jumping as high or pretty close to as high as you can. And then when you hit the ground, to make it a plyometric, it has to be a quick stretch. So you hit the ground, you pop back up. So it's a quick pop off the ground. So you don't have to go into a full squat, catch yourself. You're not taking your time on these. You're only doing 4, 5, 6 reps. You want them to be quick, full speed. And then once you finish your box, that set of box jumps or squat jumps, take another 60 seconds, minute rest, and then go into your next set of Bulgarian split squats. So you're doing these just alternating back and forth, about a minute rest in between. If you want to make it really challenging, go straight from the Bulgarian split squats into the box jumps, and then take more like a 2 to 3 minute rest in between so that you can hit the next set really hard. Okay, now we have the Romanian deadlift, RDL. So on the session A or workout A, part 1 on the 3-day-a-week plan, today is going to be your heavy RDL. So you can either do this with the barbell or you can do it by holding 2 heavy dumbbells. It's the same movement. I probably wouldn't do this with a Smith machine because it's on a fixed bar path. The movement pattern is a little different. It's a little bit harder to learn, I think. Plus, this is just gonna test your stability a little bit more. So, again, this is supposed to be heavy. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just using the bar, but I have my feet a little bit more narrow than I would a squat, about shoulder width. And essentially all you're doing is hips go back. You're keeping a little bit of bend in the knee. Hips go back. You notice my back is relatively flat, it's stable. And I'm just going as far as I can, nice and slow. I'm already feeling the stretch in my hamstrings and glutes and popping back up. So the bar should travel right over your knees. It's kind of grazing down my shins. It's staying really close to your body. So another cue is I like to brace my core, tuck my lats in. So to kind of drive your elbows down and back. And again, hips go back. Back is nice and straight. Bar travels down by your shins and pop back up. And so for a full set, you can kind of go at this pace. Down right till you feel that stretch. You notice there's a little bit of bend in my knee, popping back up. Nice and slow, popping back up. So again, the concentric phase is quick. The eccentric phase is nice and slow to really stress those tendons on the back of your leg. And with a dumbbell, same principle, you just hold 2 dumbbells. It's probably easiest to put them kind of more on the outside of your legs. Regardless, same movement. The dumbbells just travel right by your thighs, right over your knees. All right, the next exercise is the farmer carry. These are 45s. That's probably about what I would use, anywhere from 45 to 65s in each arm. You wanna go really heavy. Now, the purpose of this is, yeah, you're just holding 2 heavy dumbbells or kettlebells in your hands. You're walking slowly, nice, slow and controlled, back and forth down a room. So the purpose of this is postural stability, postural endurance. Yes, you're working grip strength as well, but something that's really important with running is that you maintain an upright posture. And so by loading your dumbbells really heavy, you are really stressing your posture to stay upright. You're stressing all the muscles that control breathing. And so you should feel the weight really pulling your arms down, your shoulders down. You want to hunch forward, but in running, we have to stay up nice and tall. And so just think about the posture you would have when you're running. Your shoulders are, down and back, not aggressively, but just in a nice upward posture. Your head's looking straight forward, and you're just walking across a room with heavy dumbbells. Okay, the last exercises of this routine are a push-up, pull-up kind of burnout. I'm not going to explain push-ups. Most people know how to do push-ups. They're just regular push-ups. There are different variations you can do, whatever is most challenging to you. The pull-ups and push-ups are really just to sort of get more volume in the upper body. We don't want to neglect the upper body completely. And I think the pull-up and push-ups are some of the best body weight exercises you can do for the upper body. They're really easy to progress. Pull-ups are already hard enough. You're pulling your entire body weight up. I am going to just show some quick cues on the pull-up just to kind of make them harder if they weren't already hard enough. But there are different ways you can do the pull-up, or you can do chin up with your palms facing you. It's good to mix it up, so it's good to do, maybe 5, 6, even 8 weeks of a certain grip and then mix it up. You'll notice that you'll start feeling different muscle groups or minor variations in, more of your bicep, more of your lat. Same thing with grip width. And so if you do a really wide grip, you may not feel your lats as much. You may feel more of your posterior delt. You may feel more of your, your rhomboids or mid-trap kind of squeezing together. If you do a more narrow grip, you do get a little bit better stretch on the lats. We're not bodybuilding here for the sake of runners. You really just want to do nice controlled pull-ups. I'm okay with these going closer to failure, especially because these are the only upper body exercises you're really doing in this plan. So for the pull-up, I like to go all the way down to a full dead hang. So you can see my shoulders are sort of tucked right now. but I go all the way down to a sort of a shoulder shrug, and then I pull up, chest to bar, all the way down until my arms are relaxed, and up. It's a nice, slow, controlled, relax, explode up, slow eccentric coming down. So that makes it really hard. It's a lot more difficult. You'll find you're not gonna be able to do as much versus just sort of repping them out, doing half reps. If you do the full controlled pull up, it's gonna be a lot harder, and because of that, you're gonna get a greater stimulus to your back and lats and stuff, which they're still important for maintaining upright posture and running. But yeah, play around with these push-ups, pull-ups. You can add some upper body stuff as you would like. The goal of being a great runner is not to have a massive upper body. So this is more for preference. I think push-ups and pull-ups are just staple exercises that are good to include in a lot of plans that don't focus or prioritize the upper body. So that's all for the part 1 or session 1 of the 3-day runner split. If you have any questions on specific exercises, reach out to Coach Will or I, and or just leave a comment down below. We'll make sure to answer some of those questions, or we'll make more videos addressing specific movement patterns. I hope this clarified just some of the quick technique things and just how you should go about some of these exercises. So stay tuned, and we will post the part 2 video with the second day of this 3-day series.